welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. Today, guys, as every single day, many updates, many stories, many things to tell you. We will go on big names, big players, and not only. Let's jump into it together. Here we go, guys. The market is always here, the updates are always here, and so remember to stay tuned. The World Cup is coming, and so the YouTube channel will be really important to keep you posted on absolutely everything. So get ready, because it's going to be a huge month ahead. So talking about players, guys, we have to start from Real Madrid. We know it's been the week of Real Madrid. There are the elections today. Marca is reporting that Florentino Pérez is the leading candidate to become new president. And don't forget what would happen if Florentino Pérez wins the elections and becomes new president of Real Madrid. The official announcements: Jose Mourinho from tomorrow will be the new coach of Real Madrid. Konaté, 4-year contract, would be the new centre back of Real Madrid. Dumfries, 20 million euros, would be the new right back of Real Madrid. So everything almost ready on that side. Then Olise. Florentino Pérez ready to try the attack to Bayern with 150 million euros for Michael Olise. This remains the plan. It's obviously going to be an important week. Florentino said on Tuesday that is going to be the official bid from Bayern. They are not even reacting in public at this point. No official statement in 2-3 days since that moment. Obviously, it's media speculation. It's still no official bid, and so this is why Bayern are officially not reacting. But when someone close to the club is asked about the situation of Michael Olise, they still stick to the quote of Uli Hoeneß: "We don't want to sell the player." Uli Hoeneß said that back in May. "We don't want to sell the player. There is no chance, not even for 200 million euros. But Real Madrid still want to try. Real Madrid still want to test if that statement will be reality, also when the big money is on the table. So we have to check the situation. Also, Didier Deschamps, the coach of the French national team, spoke about that. He said there is no right or wrong decision. It's Olise who knows what he has to do, what he wants to do, and I'm sure he knows very well. So we'll have to follow that situation closely, because it's obviously a huge one for the future of Michael Olise, of Bayern, of Real Madrid, of Florentino Pérez. So there are several factors involved into this Olise story. One more thing I wanted to tell you, guys. When Florentino Pérez went on TV and said, "I'm gonna bid 150 million euros, the obviously media industry started trying to understand who could be the player wanted by Real Madrid. And obviously, to all our minds, journalists, fans, football people in general, the names of João Neves and Vitinha immediately came to mind, because they are two fantastic players, two Galacticos, winners, young players. Obviously, João is younger, but Vitinha is still young. And obviously, they came to mind. I can guarantee to you guys, after making my checks today in a very accurate way, I can tell you that the message that came from Paris Saint-Germain immediately to any club, any possibility, any media, any offer, anything, is very clear. For Paris Saint-Germain, João Neves and Vitinha are not for sale. Untouchable. Paris Saint-Germain don't want to touch the team that won back-to-back Champions League. Paris Saint-Germain want to go with the same key players to attack for the third Champions League in a row. Nasser Al-Khelaifi is fully convinced that Paris Saint-Germain can make something special happen again with Luis Campos as director, with Luis Enrique as a coach, all together in a very clear direction. So the message coming from PSG is not for sale. Vitinha or João or Vitinha, no chance for Real Madrid or any other club. Then, this is the stance of Paris Saint-Germain. Obviously, they don't want to make a price, they don't want to make any asking price, they don't want to make any negotiation. So the message is quite strong out of Paris Saint-Germain for their two fantastic players. Adding something just to close quickly on Real Madrid, Endrick scoring for Brazil overnight, a big kiss from Carlo Ancelotti on the bench, so the feeling around Endrick is very positive. I can tell you Jose Mourinho is looking forward to working with Endrick. Jose Mourinho is waiting for Endrick to return to the World Cup. Obviously, they are going to be very supportive, Real Madrid, Mourinho. But Jose Mourinho is really intrigued by the opportunity to work with Endrick as a center striker, eventually also on the wing when needed. He's a player that at Real Madrid they really trust. The message they sent to Endrick and those close to Endrick before he traveled for the World Cup preparations was very clear. You're going to be an important player. You're going to be part of the squad next season, and you're going to be an important player. So the message from Real Madrid was very supportive and very optimistic to Endrick. And my understanding is that also Jose Mourinho is really looking forward to this possibility to work with a gem like Endrick, who still has a lot of potential. So one of the interesting stories to follow of the next season, Endrick under Jose Mourinho at Real Madrid after Olympique Lyon loan, after Endrick decided to put his 6 months on stake to see what's going to happen next season, and also he got called up for the World Cup. It was not easy. Imagine a player like João Pedro, who did fantastic at Chelsea, is staying out, but Endrick is going to the World Cup, and so his move was correct, and now back to Real Madrid. Then guys, more to say. I wanted to touch on Bayern to tell you that next week Bayern hope to close the deal for Ismael Saïbari. Very advanced. Final stages. There is still some final touch to put on the deal with PSV Eindhoven. Deal agreed with the player. Exclusive story from 1 week ago. Next week Bayern are optimistic to close the Saïbari deal also club to club after closing the deal with the player. And also Bayern are working on a deal to sign Nathaniel as new fullback from Eintracht Frankfurt. Also in this case, Bayern are optimistic, agreement with the player, working with Eintracht. There is less gap with PSV Eindhoven for Saïbari, and so Bayern maintain their optimism. One final thing I wanted to mention, guys, today, Rafa Leão, the Portugal winger, AC Milan winger. In another interview, he said, I want to go, I want to leave. And then Leão said, I believe in a league like Premier League or La Liga, I can perform way better. I can have my skills at the very best. The feeling of Rafa Leão and the feeling of those to Rafa Leão is that Premier League would be the absolute dream move and the absolute ideal destination. He had some calls from Turkish clubs over the recent weeks, but Rafa Leão wants to wait. He believes that the World Cup can open new doors eventually to him. He believes his chapter as Milan is closed. His dream is Premier League even before the La Liga. So, in a recent interview, Rafa Leão was mentioning Manchester United. A few years ago, he was mentioning Arsenal. We will see what's going to happen in terms of ideal club, ideal opportunities for Leão. At the moment, I can tell you that there is still nothing advanced with any Premier League club. I think the World Cup is going to be important to understand how Rafa Leão will react after a difficult season. He said, I had many injuries and then the system at AC Milan was not helping me. Milan will play this season with 2 strikers rather than playing with a winger. And so Leão is saying that was also a tactical problem and injury problem. But now there is the World Cup and Leão is dreaming of Premier League as a priority, then second option, La Liga. We will see what's going to happen because at the moment, still no bids or official movements. And so guys, let me your thoughts on all these stories. Obviously, Olise, but also all the rest. João Neves, Vitinha, Endrick, Leão, Saïbari, and all the rest. Your opinion, guys. Hit in comments, like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. See you soon. Ciao.